meeting to order of the regular Gilliam County Court, December 18th. We're in Arlington today, and we will stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, a quorum has been established. Are there any additions? I'll let you get settled. Sorry to rush you. You're fine.
Sorry, I was gonna be hot.
Any additions or revisions to the agenda? No?
No.
Okay. We'll go into correspondence, public comment. Individuals wishing to address the county court may do so at this time or other times throughout the meeting. Speakers are asked to raise their hand to be recognized by the chair, give name and city, and limit comments to 3 minutes. We do have one person who's signed in, Annabelle O'Neill. And you can go ahead and address the court right now if you'd like to.
Okay, thank you.
Would you like to come up and have a seat here so that we can hear you? Thank you.
How's this? Is the camera there?
There you go.
Oh, man. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have it off to the side.
Yeah, you
cool.
could.
Yeah, I can't figure out where the camera is.
There you
Is that good?
Can you see yourself?
Yeah. Thank you. My name's Annabelle O'Neill. I am a wind energy developer with Cordelio Power. Thanks for letting me speak today. I'm from Ophir, Colorado, which is where I work from my home. But I'm reporting in from the potential Odyssey Wind project. I just wanted to introduce myself, Cordelio, the project we're working on, and the right-of-way really quick so that you have a face to the name for us and the project. You can ask me questions anytime now or after. Feel free to share my contact, but I know that many of you know Sean Bell with Navitas and his son Carter. We work with them on a development partnership because he's been working in the area for about 20 years trying to bring more wind projects to the area. And last year he pitched us the idea. We loved it. So we're working with him together. About half my job is the Odyssey Wind project. The other half is another project up in Washington. So just wanted to introduce myself. Cordelio is an energy company. We have 132 employees right now with offices across the US and Canada. We're a small but growing company. I used to work at a much larger renewable energy company, and I've been with Cordelio since the beginning of the summer, and I'm just so happy to be with a small, feels kind of like a family company where we treat each other well, and we have operating projects across the US. We are financially backed by the Canada Pension Plan, which is a very stable funding source in contrast to like an investing company in the US. And we are different from a lot of big companies in that we own and operate projects throughout their lifespan. So a lot of companies will build a project and flip it or sell it to someone else, and we stick with the project throughout its hopefully 20-year operations, because we think that the relationships are worth it. There's value in working with the community for future projects. So yeah, I am a developer. I live in rural Colorado in a little mining town of 200 people. I know at the beginning you were saying we have the same thing in our town where whenever we have a vote, like 5 people need to abstain because we're all connected with each other. So
Or related.
yes, exactly. Small town politics and public service are really important to me and a value of mine. But my job as the developer is to work with Sean and Carter to shepherd this Odyssey Wind project from the idea that they gave us this past year. Right now we're signing leases with landowners and working on our interconnection plan. So how we're going to connect to the grid. We are talking, I know with y'all about the county road right-of-way. And we're also planning for upcoming permitting in the next few years. So, like I said, it takes up about half my time. I know we have about 30,000 acres signed in the south part of Gilliam County as of now, and, for this right of way, just wanted to kind of share from our side of things. We know that interconnection across the US is a challenge, and part of the project is we can sign our leases with landowners, but then we need to connect to the transmission lines. And one possible option that Sean came up with is basically adding an extension cord from our project to one of the BPA transmission lines. So what that looks like is probably putting up like monopole towers with lines on them, or working with the county to upgrade, improve, use existing infrastructure. We're so early, we don't know the specifics, but basically we want to partner with y'all to figure out some viable option to use the road right of ways that are already there to get access to one of the transmission lines. So we're early in the process of planning. I know in January, there's a hearing and decision for the right of way that we've talked about. And then from there, I think the next steps on our end, depending on how that goes, would be to work on another agreement to ensure that the right of way would last throughout our whole operating project, and we wouldn't, like, say in 10 years, have to take our project down if you changed your mind. And then we would work with Dewey to figure out some of the logistics, drive the area if it was approved. So let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, and the right of way will not impact any other utilities in the existing right of way negatively, or any other developers' plans to interconnect with a transmission line, because what we're pursuing is a standard, just like how someone who wanted to add a fiber optics line or another telephone line would hang and work with the county to add to the right of way. So everything that we're seeking is a pretty standard process. It's just different because it would be for a potentially new wind project. So that's all.
Annabelle,
Mhm.
you found the permitting part.
Mhm.
Has the project, the Odyssey, is that what it was called?
Yes.
Odyssey? Yeah, because I've not saw anything on that.
Okay.
So that has not been permitted with this, submitted to the state or anything.
Nope.
You have a plan you're trying to put together, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we're signing leases with landowners, and then this interconnection kind of challenge is something we have to figure out over the next few months.
Okay.
Permitting, there might be some studies we would do, like counting birds on landowners' properties this coming spring.
Yeah.
But none of that is like starting the official permitting process. There's, like I said, these few hoops we have to get through first. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I'm new commissioner and new to this, but, I guess a concern would be to make sure, I don't know. What landowners you have to, I haven't saw the project, but I guess, one of my feelings is to make sure that, any concerns the landowners have for that,
Of course.
I think we need to take that in our deciding process, and
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. I understand you guys are trying to get something done real quick, it sounds like, and, so you can go to the next step, but we just need to make sure, or I feel that we need to make sure that, those are being addressed.
Of course. Yeah. The reason why I came today is because I feel like we're at a good phase where we signed some landowners that there's some momentum for this project, but we're still early enough that it's not like I'm coming in last minute asking for something. I think the county right of way, I view where we're at in that process as we're kind of in the beginning planning
Okay,
phases of figuring out the viability of adding a line to the right of way. But yeah, I wanted to come today so you can meet me and we could talk more in the future about concerns you had from the county, how we can help you, because we really want to work with you. We know what we're proposing down the line is basically a big infrastructure project, so.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that, it sounds like it's gonna have a big impact and,
Yeah.
you know,
How many acres would this cover, Annabelle?
I don't know the exact footprint right now. How we do it is we have an area, kind of like a target project area, maybe around like 50 or 60,000 acres. And then what we do is, meet with the landowners, see who's willing to sign, and then, based off the wind resource, like basically design a project around who is willing to sign. So yeah, around 50, 60,000 acres, maybe less, just depends.
this is just renewable energy. It's
Yeah, it will only be a wind project.
a wind
So
project. Oh, okay.
Cordelio, we develop, construct, and operate wind, solar, and battery storage. Those are our three energy sources. We're a wind forward company. That's what we're planning to develop most, like from here on out.
Okay.
So this project is just wind.
The Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Odyssey. And no question is stupid. You're welcome to like call me after if you want to talk more about project basics. I just wanted to officially kind of put my face out there and say hi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a few pieces of correspondence before we go into the people who are addressing the county court. I just thought we'd cover right now. The one is the ethics and public meeting sign up link for the training that's coming up on January 23rd at the Memorial Hall in Condon. Just want to make sure the commissioners are aware of that. The information is in the packet. It's also online for anyone else that's on another board or committee that's interested in attending that. There does need to be a sign up for that. Also, we have just a moment, a letter from the City of Arlington approving the mural, noting that they're in approval of the mural that was funded by the county court last meeting. And we also have a swearing-in ceremony, January 6, 2025, 9 o'clock, Gilliam County Courthouse for commissioner and judge position. So let's go ahead and go into the planning update. Do we have Stephanie Case online?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, and audience. How are you guys today?
How are you, Stephanie?
Good. So basically, everything is really kind of in my written update. Grant and I have kind of been playing phone tag this week, trying to connect about the Cedar Springs lane. So I'm going to stick around and listen to that part. So that way I can kind of feel briefed on that as well. I did find some information, just some communication regarding that in the past. So nothing really solid. As far as my update goes, I think things are going really, really well. It doesn't seem that folks are having a hard time getting a hold of me, so I'm really pleased with that. We did have a planning commission meeting on October 22nd, so I got to meet our planning commission members, and we didn't have a hearing or anything, no formal action was taken, but we decided that we're going to meet again in January, tentatively scheduled for January 28th. And at this time, we don't have an application, so it might just be training. And Anya asked that I send over information for that. So that way, if you guys wanted to join or listen in, then you would have that information as well. So and before you today will be 2 appointment requests for the Planning Commission. We had 2 expiring and then 1 vacancy. So we have at the end of 2024, there would be 3 vacancies if no appointment is made. But we only have 2 requests for appointment, so we'll still be actively recruiting for that 3rd vacancy. Just working forward, we're going to be working on updating the fee schedule. I think I'll work with Anya and find out when the county fee schedule update will be happening. and just take part in that. And then still working towards the transition and citizen serve. I'm working with Glenn McIntyre, our building official here. So we want to do that transition at the same time. So do you guys have any questions for me?
I do, Stephanie. I just want to make sure on your radar for for 25 is the conditional use permit for waste management. That'll be a big
Yes.
part of what's going to happen in 2025.
Yes. I connected with his name, Paul. I have his card.
Wilson.
Yes, we did connect, and we need to connect again. And I think he is going to be there today, maybe, right?
He's actually sick today. Sorry, he's
Oh.
not here.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like there will be somebody else that I'll be working with on that. But I do have Paul's information, so I appreciate the reminder.
Good.
Thank you.
Anything else, commissioners? Okay, Stephanie, thank you so much. I think
Thank
it's
you.
going well. We usually hear if it's not, and I haven't heard anything adverse. So
I'm
do want to
glad.
make sure the public knows that they can let us know if there's anything, that this is a new arrangement, and we would like to make sure that it's working well for the public. So thank you.
Absolutely.
You're
Merry
gonna stay,
Christmas.
you're gonna stay with us, is that correct?
I'm going to
Stephanie?
stay on and listen, and I want to hear about
Okay.
Cedar Springs. So.
Great,
Good.
thank you.
Right.
Okay, you guys
Hey.
take care. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. All right.
So is that gonna come up in the board and committee appointments for
Cedar
the
Springs?
planning?
Yes.
Okay.
Road Department update. Dewey Kennedy. Come on up.
Right. We've been busy. The new court, trying to finish up projects. We've got 2.5 miles of Ferry Canyon, the gravel section that we completely rebuilt, fixed all the drainage, so there's the mud holes anymore, new culverts, everything. It's ready to be paved. I hope to do that in May, June, as soon as spring grading is done and the weather holds for us. The Baseline East project, which was the far end over there right at the county line, it's done. It's been paved, shouldered. I just got the site post for it last week. People like it too much because they go too fast. And then they say they can't see the road. So we're gonna put site posts on through there. Hopefully that helps and the follow. First there was no lines. Then we got the stripes on it. Now they can't see the edges. Well, it's got fog lines, everything, but it's always our fault. But
Doesn't have that hairpin
Yeah.
turn in,
Yeah.
everybody's waiting for it.
yeah, so anyways, that project's completed. The Ray Lane repairs are done. We went in, we patched all of the broke up pavement, the stuff that Brookfield damaged when they did their repower. Did a 3-inch overlay on the whole road. And then chip sealed it from end to end, so it's done. We are having some issues with our IRIS program, our accounting system. So Jolie's working with IRIS to try to get that so we can get our cost accounting, so I can send the bill to Brookfield for that, because that's on their dime for that, part of that road use agreement. That's done. The Bottom Miller Weatherford Road, that's the Avangrid Solar Project. We completely rebuilt both of those roads, fixed all the drainage, replaced old culverts, put new culverts in, got it done. It's paved, striped. We haven't shouldered it yet. We were on our way when the weather hit. That's where we're headed next. We also chip sealed Rattlesnake. I wanted to do it before they did the waste management project, just to put a armor coating on the road. We chip sealed it. We did Arlington Airport and then Cedar Springs, which was part of the agreement with waste management, just to hold the road until we decided what we were gonna do. If we were either gonna build the new road or do that. So the road should be good for 5 years. That's kind of what the norm's been for us.
How much did that end up costing, Dewey? Do you know?
Iris program, we don't know yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
they've,
should be close to what you thought, maybe.
oh, yeah, yes, and maybe even a little bit less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went very well, that did. Like I say, we've been shouldering, then the freezing fog, freezing rain stopped us. We're up there working on your road, the stuff's still parked up there, but we'll finish yet. And then move right to Bottomiller, Weatherford, get those done. I've got part of Arlington Airport, I finished it yesterday. We'll do the other half of it and then move on to Ray Road, get that done, so. That's done. The crusher, they're working out on baseline at the Hartfield pit. I've got them making us base rock or shoulder rock and fixing repairs, road rock, paving rock and chip seal rock. I would like to pave all of that up there. Everything except for, well, Ridge Road, we paved it all the way through Bunker Hill. And then all that would be left would be just be that old part of Carlson, which is just basically a farm road. But so their crusher's running good. Great crew. We are gonna be short. We're short one guy right now. Vinnie Lannis, applied. He's gonna come to the roadside, so we have an opening for a crusher, laborer, operator, everything. Vinnie understands that he has to stay where he's at until I fill the position, because the crusher can't run with just two.
Yeah.
So, he's very happy with that.
Have you gotten any applicants?
One.
Okay.
Yeah. Yesterday was or day before yesterday was gonna look at those past one, the Harry Lee windmill, wind turbine. We took it down. Luckily I got, Peter Mitchell sent me all of his information that he had, and he had a video of them raising it up. And so we just had to do some reverse engineering to let it down. But then when we got it down, we didn't know how to unlock anything. So we just had to tear it apart. But it's down, loaded, and it's all parked down there at the Arlington Road Shop.
Okay. Let me give a little background on this for the public. This was a small wind turbine, about 70 feet, correct?
Yeah,
That was placed on City of Arlington property on the Mesa. It's considered real property as far as tax assessment goes, and it was foreclosed upon. And it was causing, it was preventing, it was clearing a title, clouding a title on a property that was selling. And so that wind turbine needed to be removed so that title could be cleared, so that the property sale could go through. So that's what the background is. And thankfully, the road department came in and took that property down. And we will be storing that property because there's a Supreme Court case regarding the sale of foreclosed property. And we're waiting for legislation to approve the legal process so that we can sell that property, but we need the regular session to start. We just needed the tower down for now, and it is being stored. So thank you for what you've done there.
and we were able to get everything out except for the main base. We were able to dig around it. We got it out of the ground, but it was so muddy that the loader couldn't move it.
Oh.
It weighs about 12,000 pounds.
Oh, geez.
So I either have to bring a bigger loader down or somebody else can take care of it. And then there was one anchor point that we couldn't budge. Dug all the way around it, got underneath it with the loader, the mini excavator, and they couldn't even wiggle it. So they think it was probably some iron driven way down into the ground to anchor it, because that's the main point for raising and lowering, was that anchor point.
Okay.
But it's down. There is one small dent in the, just a small one. And
Okay.
the fuselage or whatever you want to call it there,
Okay.
but,
All right.
yeah, it's stored on site.
All right.
Does it
And
have
the-
any value? Is it just scrap?
Huh?
Does it have any value or is it just scrap?
Yeah, unless you have the instructions on how to make it work. I just see it as basically as scrap,
Mhm.
but it's bigger and heavier than we thought.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't think
Yeah.
there would be much to the
Yeah, it was,
base.
yeah, it was interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, borrowed parts and pieces from several people to get it down,
Yeah.
and it's down.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
And there is a legal process that we have to go
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
to dispose of that, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, the other thing we're doing a small project for the Port of Arlington because of the activity that's happening on the south side of Arlington Airport Road. The people that are in we called it the Flex Building when I was on the port, they're moving over into the in situ building.
Mhm.
Well, it wasn't built to handle trucks. So we're rocking an area and stuff for them. Should finish that today. Just a little 2-day project.
Good.
That done. And then, the Arlington School District, got a hold of me. Up there above the baseball field, they built one house. They want to put 2 more homes up there where there's quite a bit of excavation needs done.
Oh, okay.
And, I'm just gonna bring the scraper down here and just be busy work. If I don't have anything, we'll work there. If we do, we'll go do something else, just bounce back and forth. They'd just like to have it leveled by spring.
Okay.
And it'd be nice to do it now while we have moisture, because
Mhm.
you know what the soil's like here in Arlington.
Powder.
Yeah, it could get pretty dusty.
Yeah,
And then, the Cedar Springs RFP, I don't know if you want to do that now or,
we can talk about it and then we can, go ahead.
okay. We have a mandatory, pre-proposal meeting tomorrow, either in person or on Zoom. Jolie's gonna have that set up at 4. I do have one firm that's gonna show up in person. And then another one, I've just had 2 contacts so far, that would just like to do the Zoom, but they might show up also.
And I think Julie said who those 2 were, but remind me what they are again, the 2 that. have expressed
Anderson
interest.
Perry out of LeGrand
Okay,
and Tennyson Engineering out of the Dow
Okay.
are the only 2 so far that have shown any interest.
And is environmental part of this?
The environmental's, it's the very first thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the very first thing, and that's what I wanna stress to them. Let's do the assessment work before you spend any money on any land survey, any of that other engineering stuff. Because if for some reason or other there's a hiccup there, then, we don't wanna spend a lot of money on something that we'll never do.
a rare frog.
Yeah. Mhm.
By my time. Or
Yeah, well,
something.
there's ways to mitigate around
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, but, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Was there any comments from Stephanie Case, and planning regarding the, Cedar Springs Road engineering? No,
That's
I'll
not,
wait a few minutes in case you had
So-
anything to add.
uh,
Um,
that's all we got. We're ready for winter. We actually went out and pre-sanded everything before we had this last batch of weather, so we were good. Sander down here in Arlington, Sander and Condon, all the graders are set up, ready, so
Good.
Yeah.
Good,
something happens, but other than that, we're just gonna be doing maintenance work.
okay, good.
So,
Yeah, my only thing, I reached out to Stephanie was just trying to follow up on the request for proposal,
Yeah.
like Dewey and I have discussed, we're just trying to. I don't know what would be required, any action of the court till we see that we can even do this.
Mhm.
mhm.
Stephanie would like to speak.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is she there?
yeah, go ahead, Stephanie.
I think the only thing that I would add at this time, it kind of sounds like you're in the preliminary phases of finding out what could even work.
Yes.
And if I'm understanding correctly, then I think it's kind of early for me to say for sure what's needed. I did come across some information that it looks like Michelle may have lined out in 2020 regarding the potential realignment. It's unclear to me whether or not there was a defined area of where it was going to be realigned based on her notes. But what I would say, just generally speaking, is if there is an intent to realign the road on any portion of ground that would impact exclusive farm use zone, then we'll have to do a goal 3 exception for that portion and then vacate whatever area it's being moved from, at least from a planning perspective. So there's a couple of other things that Michelle had for notes, but like I said, I don't know if it was real clear where it was going to be moved at that time. So I think just, good communication throughout this process, and we'll work together on this.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, right now, it's a Sharpie on a Google map.
Mm-hmm.
It's the realignment. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Later on in the discussion, I just think we need to just take a step back as a county court and make sure that we take action or discuss proceeding with the project, because there's 2 new members. Things have changed, and just make sure everybody has a chance to comment on that, to be sure we are in agreement that we want to proceed. Correct? Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You bet.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. All right, 4.0 consent agenda. We have minutes from November 6th and December 4th, 2024. Approval of bills pending review. Boards and committee appointments for 2025, which you have details under 4.3 for that. And that includes Columbia Ridge Citizen Advisory Committee, Marta Michael, Tim Jones, Gilliam County Compensation Board, Nicole Schott, Eric Harrison, Gilliam County Statewide Transportation Advisory Board, Delene Durfee, Shirley Ludlow, Gilliam County Planning Commission, Gib Wilkins, Lori Anderson. Consider appointment of Gilliam County Budget Officer for fiscal year 2025-2026. Designate 2025 Gilliam County Depositories a newspaper of record. Let me back up on the budget officer. The recommendation is that Brooklyn Griffith be appointed, who is our finance director. However, I just want to clarify, she has done a superb job of tackling some finance challenges since she's been here. She started at the end of May or the 1st of June. She's worked well with our treasurer, and it takes the 2 of these individuals working together. I think the budget process will include those 2 people working together, because we have institutional knowledge and a new capable finance director, and both of those people, in order to get this done, are going to have to work together, and they've established a foundation of working well together. So I just want to clarify that. The
I
news.
think that Kelly Smith is a good resource too for her.
Yeah, and she'll be right in the building, accessible, and able to help. The depositories, as you'll see in the consent agenda, include Bank of Eastern Oregon, US Bank, and local government investment pool. And the newspapers of record are the Times Journal and the East Oregonian. Those are the recommendations. Also on the consent agenda is 4.6, consider approval of IGA for Soil and Water Conservation District for FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant Program post-fire. 4.7, consider approval of road use agreement for Leaning Juniper Wind Power 2 LLC. 4.8, consider GEJDWC annual report Herb Winters Soil and Water Conservation District. Any questions about any of the items?
I just had a couple quick questions. In the November 6th meeting, Brittany Clark, the Frontier Chamber coordinator. Has anybody heard anything back from her?
Yes, I did just receive reports from 2023 and 2024 of those small business development grants that were granted.
Okay.
And I asked, Court Assistant Anya Monday to please put that on the agenda to include in your packets in January, correct? Yeah, we just talked about that yesterday, yeah.
And the only other question I had was on the 4.7, the road agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a way, or how do you document, or do you document the precondition of the road before?
Yes, I require to have a pre-construction project,
Okay,
meeting, and then we drive the roads, we look at them.
yeah,
And then there's a clause in the road use agreement at the end of the project to
Right.
my satisfaction.
right, okay,
And that's what I tell those guys. Well, we're gonna bring in a third. I just tell them, you can spend all the money you want. But it says to my satisfaction, and I'm not gonna hold them up.
yeah.
They're just not gonna hold the taxpayers of Gilliam County up.
I just didn't know if you had like pictures or, I didn't know how far it
You know,
needed to go to protect the
A
road.
couple of them have videoed
Okay,
the roads
Yeah.
and stuff like that, which is fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was,
Okay.
okay, that's all I
So
got.
I think, I'm kind of thinking that we should consider the approval of the road use agreement outside of the consent agenda,
Okay,
because it's not a annual
no,
thing that I know of, so, for regular business.
Yeah.
So,
would you like to do that routinely, in your opinion, every time there's a road use agreement, not have it be a
yeah,
item on
I
consent
think it's
agenda?
anything that's not, something that is done year after year after year, you know what I mean? This is a
and
new,
there's gonna be several of these,
yeah,
so I think it should be something that's discussed
Okay,
every
sure.
time.
We will,
Yeah.
we will make sure in the future
So-
we do not put that on the consent agenda.
we can just, can we move it?
Pull
to,
that.
like 5.3 and then approve it there or something?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, do we have, any further discussion on the items on the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda with, removal of 4.7.
Okay, is there a
I'll
second?
second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda with removal of item 4.7, which will be moved to, item 5.3 unfinished business. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye,
Aye, motion carries. Okay,
Do we want to just skip to 5.3 and?
sure,
approve
we can do that
So-
right now.
Okay, I move to approve the road use agreement from Leading Juniper 2 LLC as presented.
Second.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the road use agreement for Lean Juniper Wind Power 2 LLC. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye, motion carries. Okay, thank you very much. All right, unfinished business. We have consider approval of resolution R 2024-14, amending the 2024-2025 salary schedule to include transportation dispatcher. So any discussion on this item?
To answer my other phone, give me a call in a minute if it's not there, okay? Thanks.
Hello?
It's
Perfect.
Todd,
Thank you.
this, transportation.
Okay,
Yes, Eileen?
yes, go
Sure.
ahead. This is Todd Lake, who is addressing this item on the agenda. Go ahead.
It should be adding the
Well,
transportation
well, so
coordinator
broker,
position
yeah.
into this pay scale, not the dispatcher. Dispatcher's already there.
Transportation coordinator. Hold on just a moment. Let's look at the, oh, yes. That is just an error. That's okay. We will fix that. It actually is correct.
Yeah.
In the resolution. So we're correct. It was just on the agenda.
Thank you.
Is there anything
I'll
else you
clarify
wanted to add?
Not at this time on that issue.
Okay, this resolution was included in the packet. It was included online. Are there any other comments that wanted to be made? Any questions about this? Okay.
I move to approve resolution 2024-14 as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Okay,
I was gonna make it.
it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution R 2024-14. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, consider GEJDWC annual report. Oh, excuse me. Discussion and possible action on Cedar Springs Road project. What I wanted to do on this is just step back for a moment and make sure that we're all in agreement that we do want to proceed with this. We have two members of the county court who are new. We had a question of the public who asked that we be sure this is the way we want to proceed. So I'll just allow you. Go ahead.
Yes, I visited, they had kind of a tour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the date, last summer, May?
We did it in
Early,
Yeah, it was early,
April
yeah.
or May.
And, there's numerous people there, but, everybody that I've talked to, the company, Waste Management, the landowner, everybody sees this as a thing that we need to do. And, I think that, this is something that is gonna solve a lot of problems out there, safety issues, no impedance. And, I think Dewey has a really good plan. The county doing it, we're gonna save a lot of money. Everybody I've talked to said that this is a win-win for everybody, so.
Yeah. You're the member of the
Oh, I
county
was
court
on
who was
board.
here? Okay.
On the CAT committee, I don't know how many times we beat the, what are we gonna do? Cause the trains are more trains, longer trains, more wait times.
Right.
I know they've had discussions in the past of building overpasses, but that would be
Ugh.
a nightmare because where do you
Well, it's-
stop and
It's
start
expense.
that?
it's multiple overpasses, and to build an overpass for grain trains, it's gonna cost way more
Yeah.
than what it'll cost to relocate the
Yeah.
road.
And I think one of the first questions I asked at the CAT committee meeting was, how long was Waste Management gonna be there? And they were like 120 years
Yes.
potentially. So I was like, well, that's a small price to
Right.
pay. We did get past the hurdle of whether or not Waste Management would let us use that money that they give to the county
Right.
for, maintaining the road.
Which seems they are in agreement to do that now.
Yeah, cause that was the hurdle
Yes.
when I left the process was,
Right. Well, they really want the existing road grade. Because once the new road is built and everything, then they'll just slap tracks right there, and that gives them, a lot more car storage.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a win-win when there's not that many residents out there, but all the workers, all the trucks that go in and out of there,
EMS.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Martin's actually late for the TAC meeting because she got held up by the train, so she came in a good mood.
Oh, I bet. So,
Yeah.
and it's not, the problem with, doing a wait and see is it's just gonna get more expensive.
Yes,
If
That's true.
they actually would have done it like 3 or 4 years ago, it would have been way cheaper than it will be
Yeah.
now, but I just think, personally, I think we just have to bite the bullet and
well,
do
we need
it.
to hurry up and get the project in, or I'm gonna use all the rock I have produced on other projects,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
One of the other questions at the CAC meeting was they were wondering about the cost for it, which like doing, and I discussed with them, the maintenance fees that are gonna more than probably be enough
Oh,
to
yeah,
cover it, so. With.
by the time all of this gets done, there's gonna be upwards of another 12 months before we get started.
Yeah,
And they're just gonna keep adding that tonnage fee to the deal, so.
Yeah.
It will be a good project.
yeah, because I think that Jolie went through and matched what they had sent to
Yes,
make sure it matched with what the county had.
Correct.
And it did.
yeah, it's right now, it's a little over 2.6.
Right, and that's what it's for.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should, I don't know how the other two commissioners feel, but I think that it would be good for historical purposes, for the minutes and for our, for the clarity for the public that we take official action, that we, as a county commission, are in favor of proceeding with the Cedar Springs Road project if we are. So how do you feel about that?
Did we, I can't remember exactly, but I think at one point we must have okayed the going out and pursuing the survey.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's in this year's budget,
Yeah,
yeah, to do that.
yeah, because I think.
And then, you know, after tomorrow's meeting, with the potential firms, then we'll know a little bit more. And then, I just want them to understand that do the assessment work. And if there's either a roadblock or a hurdle that we can't do, then we're gonna have to regroup and think of something else to do.
So maybe we should just wait till after they do their assessment and then,
That's,
I don't know. Personally, I don't know if we need to, I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure what kind of
Well,
motion we would make
yeah.
to,
I think just approval to move forward,
yeah.
I think it would be good.
Mhm.
Even if there is an issue in there, there's ways of mitigating it
Yeah.
to where we can do the project. It's just how much the county or we're willing to spend to do it, but, I don't foresee there being that big of an issue.
Cause I think the CAC committee met with the road committee
Mhm.
and the consensus was that this was the way forward.
Yeah. And I actually have a road committee meeting tomorrow, right after the meeting with the engineers, so
Mhm.
we'll know more then.
Okay, do you have any thoughts?
So I'm kind of back and forth on whether we need, I mean, we're just trying to find out something, but maybe we need a preliminary motion to proceed.
Mhm.
I don't. But I mean, we're just, we're in a find out information.
Yeah.
Position, so,
Mhm.
I think it was, oh gosh. Yeah, I think this was originally brought up February 22nd, 2024,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, but we couldn't find where there was ever a motion. To do anything, and, it's up to whoever would like to make a motion. If there is no motion, we'll just. We'll see.
I'm not sure, I've never
Mhm.
been,
Mhm.
If,
I mean, nothing that's gonna come up is probably gonna
Yeah.
change my mind.
Yeah.
That this is something that we need to do, so.
Okay. Well, at this point, we can just continue to move forward if we're comfortable with that,
I think,
as the direction we're going.
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, and as I get more information, I'll pass it on to the members of the court, and,
Yeah.
a lot of it's gonna depend on probably the weather for whoever we choose. When they can, there's probably certain parts of that assessment work they have to do at certain times of the year.
Mhm.
So my guess, we're gonna be 6 months to a year before we can proceed.
That's what
We're
I
in the
was wondering.
beginning
So,
phases,
So,
yes.
You know, I don't know if we have to wait for nesting periods, if we have to wait for, you know, hatching times, whatever.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
plants and stuff,
Mhm. Right.
yeah.
That'll be the longest part of the project, won't it?
Yeah.
Just potentially, really, the
The-
construction of it will, once it starts, will be.
That's just dirt.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
That's just dirt. That'll go
Yeah.
easy. It's getting all of this stuff done.
Yeah.
But the bulk of the project is gonna be on already disturbed ground. You know, some of it was old farm ground. A lot of it was, disturbed when they built the railroad. And then disturbed again when Waste Management built the spur line right alongside of it, so.
Okay, so for the record, we will proceed with the environmental engineering, RFP. And, we will have more information once that is completed. Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you. Thank
And
you.
then maybe you can find out from the attorney or something, if there needs to be a formal,
Yeah,
um,
I think
and
that,
how you word that,
yeah, let's, the formal thing, let's wait till
yeah.
we know we can go.
Okay,
Yeah, once we know we can go, then
okay, all
Yeah.
right. Okay, new business. Consider approval of 2025-2027 STIP plan. Todd Lake. Todd, are you online?
I am.
Okay,
So Todd Lake, Gilliam County Transportation Director. I am finalizing the statewide Transportation Improvement Fund, the STIF fund, application for the next biennium, which is 25-27. So the funding you see on there is for 2 years. And what we did on the advisory committee, approved the projects that are listed in front of you. And there's a reserve fund at the end that we can move the remaining money to any of the other projects we need to. This is due in January on the 18th, and I'd like to get approval by the court on the projects that the advisory committee approved.
okay.
So Todd, is this is a 3-year plan?
2 year.
Is it, because it's 25, 26, and 27, or does it end?
It's the fiscal years included, so it's July 25 through June of 27.
Okay, okay.
Is there anything else regarding this plan?
I move for the approval of the 25-2027 STIF plan projects as presented in the 25-2027 STIF plan.
Okay,
I will second the motion.
okay, it's been moved to approve the 2025-2027 STIP plan projects as presented in the 2025-2027 STIP plan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, is there anything as far as commissioners' comments?
So we went to AOC since
We went to AOC
our last. meeting.
prior to the last meeting, yes. Mhm.
We were prior to having the discussion about all the solar
Mhm.
projects that amazed me how big some of those are. I did not know that one in Morrow County was supposed to be 40,000 acres eventually.
Wow. And in Morrow County, where will that be? North County?
I think it's like Lexington.
Bombing Range Road kind of
Okay.
cuts across
it's,
there.
it's everything north of what they call their baseline road,
Yeah.
all that farm ground up there.
Mhm. Okay,
So when you leave Lexington and go up over country, it'll be all that farmland that
Well, when
lays
you
in
go,
there.
when you leave Lexington and you go, I
Cut-
don't know, you go around
Buttermilk
you go
or
around all the
Buttercreek.
corners and everything, and that long straight stretch, and there's one road that turns and goes west.
Mhm.
It's basically everything from there, all that down to where that, solar farm is by the Bombing Range Road. It's all of that flat out through there.
Wow.
okay. Mhm. Anything for you?
The only thing I have is tomorrow, Norcourt meeting, and Sheriff Betancourt had indicated to me that he was gonna attend also. And I'm sure you guys saw the email from our juvenile director. But yeah, that's the Norcourt meeting. I think that's all I have on my schedule before our next board meeting.
Yeah, I don't think I have another Capco meeting till January. I think they skipped December.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to fully go over that email. Did you, from the juvenile director?
Yeah, I read through it. I need to ask her, I think there's some things in it. I think the way I read her email is it's coming across that it was coming across from the board that way. And a lot of that, she was just quoting Sheriff Betancourt, I think, so.
Okay,
But I'll see
back
her,
and
I'll
read
see
it.
her tomorrow, I think, too, and I
Oh,
I
okay,
can
she'll be
ask.
some.
I assume she's been to the last couple, so,
Mhm.
but, yeah, I had a couple questions. I was just gonna ask her about it, but, yeah,
Okay.
we'll see see what they have.
So are they still talking selling property then?
No, that, they gave up on that because, it would have to be, it's not divided already,
Mhm.
and they're worried about losing the existing, lease occupant that they have,
Mhm.
and it's a Band-Aid, I mean,
Well, yeah, because once that money's gone, you
Yeah.
didn't fix a problem.
yeah. So, like I
Yeah.
said, the last, you know, I don't know where we're at tomorrow, but, you know, the two big ones were they were talking about the tax levy, and that was consensus of the members that that was not the route to go. And, you know, it was thrown out there about the 6% cut across the board,
Mhm.
so. we'll
But
find
your
out more
meeting's tomorrow.
Yes,
And you're gonna talk about solutions.
yeah,
Okay. All right, okay.
hopefully,
Mhm.
so.
Cause I believed they did a 5% increase last year. when
For
they
the
did
county,
budget.
for the counties, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, that.
The county's
Five
contribution.
across the board, percent to
Yeah.
all four counties, yes,
yeah,
which
Okay.
probably gonna be more,
yeah.
yeah, coming. So,
Yeah. Okay.
No further on like click attack coming in and,
um. No, I think they were in discussion something with Multnomah County, but I don't know. I don't recall, I don't recall. No,
Learn
no,
more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
how many juveniles do they have in the system, do you know?
I think last they only had like 14.
And it houses how many?
I thought they could go up to 30,
So it's like a
But-
half.
yeah. It's,
Not all counties are.
Yeah, when I think they can't keep the juveniles in there as long as they can. The adult ones, I think they have to process them through faster, don't they?
and I'm not sure if the percentage.
I mean, it seems like they can house them, but they need to make arrangements because they can't just keep them there
Yeah, and
indefinitely.
I think the ones that are there, I'm not sure if they're from existing counties, the 4 or not, so,
Mhm.
Yeah,
but.
Okay. Anything else?
No,
Okay, a few announcements. Our next meeting will be, January 8th, 2025, 10:00 a.m. in Condon at the courthouse. January 6th, there'll be a swearing in. Commissioner Wilkins and myself, and any other elected
Chet.
officials. Chet,
Chet, yeah.
okay. We have our town hall meeting, our first one. The date, January 15th. We'll attend county college, leaving January 16th, 17th and 18th, I believe. Commissioner Wilkins and I both will be going to that. There's also the ethics and public meeting training, and the date on that again, January 25th. So that's all occurring in January. We're gonna be hitting the ground running in 2025. There's gonna be a lot going on in 2025. We have the, host fee agreement with Waste Management, which will need to be renegotiated. There's several, SIP agreements that we're looking at, in 2025. We will be looking at the availability of the, wheat lab, the grain lab, which will come up in 2025. There's a lot that's going to happen, and I think that,
so
it'll
that's
be an
when they're
exciting
under,
time.
they're out from underneath that
Yep,
contract.
April, I believe it's April, sometime in the spring of 2025, and we have the question into legal right now about how to get out from, I mean, we know we can get out from under it, but it's, there's gonna have to be some title work done,
Okay.
to get the legal, it's a, release of covenant is the actual legal term, and we just need to make sure that we receive that release so that we're out from under it, but the time frame will be up, it's just a matter of the legality and the paperwork. Is there anything we've missed to cover, for the meeting, good of the order? I do want to read something about, the turning of the year. I hope you end 2024 feeling peace, not pain. I hope you look back with gratitude, not regret. I hope you accept the past and stay confident in the present. I hope you're ready to step boldly into what's ahead. So that's the message for the end of 24 and on to 25. Yes.
Is there anything we need to do for the decision that I think was moved to the next meeting about our county right of way?
At this point, no, I will be contacting you with a couple of questions that I have,
Okay.
so that when we get to that point, we have all the information we need to make a, intelligent decision, okay?
Thank you.
All right?
Cause it went to legal, but it wasn't back when we had our last meeting.
Yeah, no, so,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Is there anything else?
All right.
Okay. No further business, this meeting is adjourned.